All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram. All right, Mr. Atkins, you may resume your examination, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officers, before we have lunch, I wanted to backtrack a little. Can you describe for the jury what constitutes a high?
What constitutes
a high intensity drug area?
A high intensity drug area is where heavy amounts of narcotics are being sold. It could be anything from a hotel to a neighborhood to a street corner, anything like that.
And who identifies or creates what's designated as a high?
Objection, relevance.
I'll rule the objection.
We develop those investigations through informants or through tips that we get or leads.
And what agencies staff the task force that you're a part of? What law enforcement?
Well, we've got agencies from all over Metro Atlanta. We've got agencies from Henry County, Stockbridge, Brookhaven, DeKalb. I mean, they're all like, we got a couple from Henry County.
What federal agencies staff?
We have one through Customs and Border Protection and the DEA, in my group specifically.
And you had mentioned earlier about the canine handler.
Yes, sir.
Describe for the jury, what do you do as a canine handler?
My dog, this is the second dog that I've worked. Both of my dogs have been trained in narcotics detection and criminal apprehension. So they've got the ability to track and locate criminals, track and locate missing people, Alzheimer's patients, things like that, as well as evidence recovery and building clearing.
And when you were a sergeant over the canine unit at Brookhaven, what extra duties did you have in that position?
I had to complete all use of force work with our other handlers, any kind of documents that came in, training records, reports, deployments, anything like that. I had to review those.
And what kind of background training and experience do you have to have to be a canine handler with Brookhaven Police Department?
To be a canine handler, you go through an 8-week course with your dog, and that includes the training of the handler and the training of the dog. I've actually gone a step further than that, and I'm a certified trainer for our department.
And was there any additional training that was needed for you to be a canine handler with the task force?
No, sir.
And can you describe what other positions you had other than canine handler when you were with Brookhaven Police Department? We put a robbery task force together when we first started the department. I've been at Brookhaven since day one when it formed. We put a robbery task force together to combat the street robberies that were going on, and there was 4 people hand selected by the chief. I was on that for about a month and a half, and then I was on our NET team, which is our neighborhood enforcement team, similar to a crime suppression team. I was on that for about 4 years. And what kind of background training and education experience do you have that qualifies you to be a hired task force officer?
My formal education, I've got an associate's degree in public service or public safety. I've got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I've got a master's degree in business. My training from law enforcement, I've been through 2 different academies, state accredited academies, one in South Carolina, one in Gwinnett County, which was state accredited through Georgia. The one in South Carolina was 10 weeks. We slept there. It was paramilitary style.
Basis.
Irrelevant and improper bolstering. He did not be intended as an expert, and so this information is irrelevant.
All right, overruled, sir.
It was paramilitary style. We slept there up at 5 o'clock in the morning training, PT. The training academy I went to in Gwinnett was 26 weeks long, and it wasn't overnight. We went home at night.
And you had referenced earlier that when you were with Gwinnett, you worked on the crime suppression unit. What was your position within that crime suppression unit?
I was an investigator. We investigated street level crimes.
And when you worked the highway interdiction unit with Gwinnett PD, what was your position with them?
Interdiction officer. We worked narcotic smuggling up and down the interstate.
And what is an interdiction officer?
We're trained to detect narcotics trafficking. A lot of officers will stop a car and they'll write their ticket and they're done. But we're trained to talk to passengers, talk to drivers, and take those stops one step further. Any misconceptions, any stories or eye contact, things like that would take those stops to the next level.
You just described what an interdiction officer is. What is interdiction?
Interdiction is the stopping of the narcotics moving throughout the area.
In your law enforcement career, have you ever been injured in the line of duty?
Yes.
Can you describe that?
I sustain that one, though.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yeah, you can. Come on up, Mr. Adams. All right, pose your next question, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Now, as a Highway Task Force officer and sergeant of the K-9 unit at Brookhaven, what cases do you mainly work?
It was between the two. It was mainly narcotics.
And how long do you or would you classify or not classify as having a specialty in drugs and narcotics?
Say that one more time.
Do you, in your law enforcement experience, have or not have a specialty?
I would say yes, I do.
And what is that?
You said within narcotics?
Correct.
It would be interdiction. That's what I've concentrated most on and taken most of my training in.
And of your 18 years of experience, how many of those years roughly involved drug interdiction or identification?
Probably 12 to 15.
And we had talked about some of your training in drug identification. How many cases, if you had to estimate, have you worked that involved marijuana?
Ooh, over a period of 18 years, strictly a guess, a couple thousand.
And
That's between South Carolina, Gwinnett, and Brookhaven.
And in your law enforcement experience, what specific classes have you had with identifying or recognizing marijuana on the street?
I've been through 2 different levels of basic and advanced interdiction. I've been through 2 phases of commercial motor vehicle interdiction. I've taken...
Object on the basis of asked and answered, please.
I'll overrule that objection, sir.
I've taken 2 levels of commercial motor vehicle interdiction, street side interviews and interrogations. And that's just to name a few. I mean, over the period of 18 years, it's hard to remember them all.
Understand. How many cases have you worked with identifying or coming across ecstasy?
That's been asked and answered already.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Now, Officer Bites, I'll turn you to September 24th, 2017. published in States Exhibit 4, Lima. Now, also fights that light blue arrow on 4 Lima. Can you describe what that indicates?
That arrow is pointing to the controlled access to PDK Airport.
And what vehicle was it that traveled like the light blue arrow?
The Mercedes Maybach. Maybach. Maybach.
In 6 Lima, Officer Fikes, is that light blue arrow different or the same as what we just discussed?
That's the same control access point.
And this darker blue arrow, what does that indicate?
The dark blue arrow is about where I pulled off to stop in the turn lane to watch them as we're trying to make that 3-point turn.
And you had testified earlier about northbound. Is this depiction that has a blue arrow on the top right, does this accurately depict northbound or does it not?
It does.
Officer Fikes, there's also this black star. What does that indicate in 6 Lima?
That's where I pulled off when I saw them go back south on Claremont Road. I pulled off to watch to see if they came back toward the airport.
With 7 Lima, is that black star that just populated? What is that point?
That's where I was sitting.
And the gold star with the white background, what does that depict?
When the Maybach came back northbound on Claremont Road, I pulled off of 9th Street and initiated my blue lights to stop the car. And the gold star is where that final stop was.
And with 8 Lima, what does these dots indicate?
That's my direction of travel when the car came back northbound.
And is roughly, what's the estimation distance-wise from where you were parked on 9th Street to where the vehicle, the Maybach, stopped?
Looking at a picture, about 200 feet.
Is that an accurate estimate of the amount of feet?
Yes, sir.
Now, when was it that you first noticed that the tint appeared to not be legal during this account?
When I was traveling northbound on Claremont Road and I saw the reflection of my car in the windows of the Maybach, is when I thought it was illegal. But I actually checked it once the car was stopped and it was at 5%. And again, the legal limit is 32%. And I don't know if you guys know how window tint works, but the darker the window tint is, the lower the number.
Basis.
Non-responsive.
I stand the question.
Officer Fikes, how does legal tint work percentage-wise?
The lower the number is, in this case it was 5%, means on a clear sunny day only 5% of light is getting through those windows. And the reason the law has 32% plus or minus 3 is because a lot of us have window tint meters, and kind of like if I step on a scale and he steps on a scale, if he steps on my scale and the steps on his scale, it might be within 1 or 2 pounds. The same as our window tint meters, they might be within 1 or 2 degrees.
Have you encountered vehicles that have improper window tint in your career before, other than this stop?
Frequently.
And do you have any reference point or way compared to, you were talking about percentages, 32% with mirror window tint? Is there any examples of something between those two of how you could tell that a window might have improper tint?
If you can't see through them, they're usually illegal. Like I said, on a clear sunny day, you should be able to see through the windows.
Now, when you had testified earlier about initiating the traffic stop, did you have, and you mentioned running the tag and came back, did you have any idea if the individual whose name came back, Jeffery Williams, was inside the car when you pulled it over?
I didn't know. I couldn't see in the car and had no idea who Jeffery Williams was. So even if I could see in the car, I wouldn't know he was in there.
Did you have any way to know how many occupants it had?
No, sir.
Did you have any way to know anything about any of the individuals inside of the car?
No.
Did you have any knowledge about the race, ethnicity, or gender of the individuals inside the car?
No, sir.
And you had mentioned earlier that the vehicle did a 3-point turn. What is a 3-point turn?
And I don't know if you can put that picture back. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was 4L.
For Lima.
So you can see. Can you hear me? Okay. So on this side right here, you can see how there's 2 lanes. The car pulled in right here, but obviously he's not going to be able to make that U-turn, so they had to pull up a little bit and then back up and pull back out. So it's 3 different motions.
That makes sense. And when you initiate a traffic stop and approach the vehicle, is there any, how do you approach the vehicle? Just like this stop and do a traffic stop?
You know, most of the time I make a passenger side approach
Why is that?
for safety reasons.
And
When I walk up on the passenger side, I can see, if there is only a driver, I can see more what the driver's doing and what's in his hands.
And so you, after you get out of your vehicle and approach, who in the vehicle is the first person you see?
I knocked on the back window to get them to roll the windows down because I couldn't see in. They rolled the back passenger side window down, and I believe that was Cedric Jones in the back passenger seat.
And how quickly after mentioning them to roll the windows down did you ask them to exit the vehicle?
It was a few minutes. I had to get a backup officer, 2 backup officers with me because there were 3 people in the car and I was out there by myself.
And when you ran the vehicle, did it indicate if Jeffery Williams, if the vehicle was registered to, was a senior, junior, or third?
I don't remember. It was 6 years ago. I don't remember what the NCIC said.
Understood. Your Honor, I am permission to approach the witness.
You may.
States Exhibits 9 Lima through 16 Lima.
Have you shown those to states 9 through 16 Lima to the defense counsel?
I've shown them previously, but I'll show them again with Mr. Adams.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor,
Sir.
me and defense counsel spoke. There's 2 photographs that you'd like to approach on.
All right, come on up. All right. Pursuant to our conversations, are you showing the witness states? What are you showing the witness right now?
Your Honor, I'm going to approach the witness if the court permits with 9 Lima through 13 Lima Alpha.
Okay.
Your Honor, before counsel does that, let me add to my objection, my previous objection as to the best evidence proof.
All right. Overruled, sir. Thank you.
And Your Honor,
All right, and I'm just what I'll do since we had a conversation in terms of 12 Lima and 13 Lima. Any objection, Mr. Adams? That otherwise you have made already? I don't believe you had.
Best evidence rule objection I made previously.
All right, so 12 Lima and 12 Lima Alpha are admitted, and what about 13? 13 Lima and 13 Lima Alpha?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and same ruling. They're admitted, and they and I'll note your objections, sir. Continue objection.
and
All right.
Your Honor, I also want to let the court know, I showed these with defense counsel, but 14, it's 9 Lima through 16 Lima.
I got you.
I said 13 Lima.
Yeah, I specifically ruled upon 12 and 13 Lima and Lima Alpha. Any further objections, Mr. Adams, to 9 through 11 or states 9 through 11 Lima or 14 Lima?
None other than what's been previously stated.
Okay, all right, they're admitted, and we so all exhibits 9 Lima through 16 Lima can be published as you see fit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Through 14 Lima, I should say, can be published.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor, the state is going to ask a couple questions of Officer Fikes to the foundation.
Okay.
Officer Fikes, can you take a look at 9 Lima through 16 Lima, and when you're done, just look up at me. Officer Fikes, what are 9 Lima through 16 Lima?
These are pictures of the contraband that were seized from the Maybach and pictures of the Maybach itself and the 3 subjects that were occupying the car.
And how do you recognize them?
Because there are pictures that were taken that night.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of this scene?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit state's exhibits 9 Lima through 16 Lima.
Any further objection other than the objections that have been noted, Mr. Adams?
Nothing new, just subject to the previous objection.
All right. 9 through 16 Lima and Lima Alpha can be admitted and may be published as you see fit. There will be continuing objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Fikes, after you saw the Maybach abruptly turn to the restricted area, why did you not immediately blue light it at that point?
Because I was still getting returns on the license plate. And until I find out that if a car's stolen or wanted in, a crime or something, I don't stop it.
Publishing state's exhibit 9 Lima. Now, Officer Fikes, are you able to see in these photographs the tint that you were talking about earlier?
Yes.
Can you describe to the jury, if you need to use that form?
All the windows were tinted similar to this right here, that mirror tint.
So what, does that include the driver's side window, passenger side window, and rear window?
Yeah, the four main windows, both driver's side and both passenger side.
And ultimately, how many people were inside this vehicle?
3.
And what was it that came to your attention once all the windows were rolled down?
The thing I noticed first was the smell of marijuana.
And did it smell raw or burnt?
It smelled like raw green marijuana.
And did you ever conduct, or what did you do after smelling the raw marijuana?
After I got their IDs, I went back to my car to run all 3 subjects, make sure they didn't have any outstanding warrants, and call for backup.
And can you describe what is the difference between raw and burnt marijuana in terms of how you can identify them?
Sure. It's the same substance that has 2 different smells, similar to popcorn. Buttered popcorn smells one way. If you burn popcorn, it's the same substance, but it just has 2 different odors.
And who was, can you describe, or I'm going to use Published States Exhibit 10 Lima. What is the victim simply lost by?
That's the license plate on the Maybach.
And turning to States Exhibit or Publishing 11 Lima. So ultimately, can you describe for the jury what did you end up doing with this vehicle? And can you, in terms of, did you ever conduct a search?
I did. I conducted a probable cause search based on the odor of marijuana.
And breaking down the search, where did you start?
On the driver's seat.
And what did you find in the driver's seat?
Just marijuana residue in the floorboard.
And what is marijuana residue?
Where they roll up a joint or a marijuana cigarette, some of the crumbs fall on the floorboard as the marijuana crumbles up.
And after, what area did you search next?
The back driver portion, the back driver's seat area.
And what did you see in the back driver's seat area?
As you can see from the photo, there's a bunch of what appears to be clothes in the floorboard, and there's a red and black bag on the back seat, and there's a black bag in the floorboard.
And did you end up searching that red and black bag and black bag?
I did.
Using or Publishing States Exhibit 12 Lima. So, Officer Vikes, going back to 11 Lima, was it? There's a little bit of a delay on that.
Yeah.
It's sharing comments from the mic.
describe what all is depicted in 11 Lima?
Like I said, some miscellaneous clothes in the floorboard, and there's a black and red bag on the back seat and a black bag in the floorboard.
Now, did you ever find any items when you searched these bags?
I did.
Publishing 12 Lima, Your Honor. While published the officer fights, did you find anything on any of the occupants in the vehicle?
There was a small amount of marijuana in Sergio Kitchen's pocket, who was the driver, and the keys to the Maybach were found in Jeffery Williams' pants pocket.
Was there any cash found?
Jeffery Williams had a large amount of cash in his pocket.
How much did he have in his pocket?
Without looking at the report, I think it was like $2,800 roughly. I'd have to look at the reports to be exact.
Thank you, Mr. Vice.
Your Honor, the screen just stopped sharing. Just to make it
Wes, you want to try again?
There's no surefire way to prevent accidents at work. So talk to your agent about workers' comp insurance from Pi or visit Pi Insurance.
Officer Fights, can you Officer Price, I'm going to have you describe some of these items on 12 Lima Alpha.
Okay.
Can you, are you able to see the screen as it's published?
Yes.
With the yellow arrow that just came on 12 Lima Alpha, can you describe what that item is?
That's a dark colored mason jar that had marijuana inside.
And where was that located?
There's a, in this car specifically, not every car has it, but in this car specifically, if you're seated in the back seat, there's an armrest that pulls down between the driver's side and passenger side. When you pull that armrest down, there's a concealed compartment that's a factory compartment. And when I open that up, that was in there, along with 2 bottles of promethazine.
And this second arrow that just populated on 12 Lima Alpha, what is that item?
That's the bottle of promethazine that was in the compartment with the marijuana.
And what is this third arrow depict?
That's a large amount of money that was found in the red and black bag.
And this fourth arrow, what is that green bottle?
That green bottle has Xanax bars in it, or alprazolam that was found in the black bag.
Objection.
Basis.
Lack of foundation for this testimony.
Overruled, sir.
That bottle has a Xanax bars in it, or alprazolam, which the label was torn off of. That was found in the black bag that was in the back seat.
And can you describe how you, with your training experience, can identify what alprazolam is?
Alprazolam is easily identifiable because they're long rectangles that are divided up into 4 squares. They've got 4 different score marks on them.
And where was this green medicine bottle found in the car?
In the black bag, which was in the back seat.
And turning to This fifth arrow, what is in that? What is that?
That's an orange pill bottle that you can see from the picture. The label had been torn off or partially torn off. Had a bunch of different pills in the bottom of it and a plastic bag in the top that had multicolored powder, which, based on my knowledge and experience, is ecstasy.
That's the foundation.
I'm overrule the objection, Mr. Adams.
The mixed colored powder is ecstasy, based on my almost 19 years of experience.
And what is this firearm that's on the left of this exhibit?
The firearm on the left is a SCCY 9mm, which was found in the black bag.
What does the SCCY, what is that?
I'm not 100% sure what it stands for.
I understand. And what is that firearm, or what is that to the right of the firearm you just described?
That's FN57. I ran the serial number on both these, and the FN57 came back stolen out of East Point.
And Officer Price, you had mentioned this hidden compartment. Was it immediately noticeable when you began looking in the backseat?
No, sir.
How did you know to look for it, or how did you find it?
I've had traps in the past built into back seats, and when I noticed that armrest was there, I pulled it to see what was behind it.
Can you describe the various compartments in the backseat and where these drugs were found?
Sure. The black bag that had the SCCY 9mm and the green medicine bottle was found in the floorboard on the driver's side, and the currency, the FN57, and the orange medicine bottle were found in the red and black bag that was placed on what is like the common hump in between the driver and passenger floorboard in the back.
And Officer Price, on 11 Lima, do you see those bags depicted that you just referenced?
Yes, sir.
Can you describe where they are?
Knock, knock. Hi there. I'd love to show you what a K-12 powered school is really like. Step inside. Here, you can dive into subjects you love. Move as
Your Honor, or Mr. Kearns, probably nothing you did, but having assistance on the decision. Kid, quick. Thank you.
Okay.
In total, what all was found in the backseat compartment of Jeffery Williams' car?
In the back seat compartment, in the factory compartment, was the marijuana, the jar of marijuana, and the 2 bottles of codeine.
Now, were any of those firearms, when you collect firearms, what do you typically do on scene? Do you do any checks or run any systems?
I run the serial numbers through NCIC.
And did anything come back with these firearms?
Mr. Harrison.
Lay a little more foundation, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll sustain the objection for the time being.
Officer Price, can you describe to the jury when you recover or encounter firearms on the street, what steps do you do when you encounter a firearm, like you did here?
I run all serial numbers through our NCIC system, which is the same database that license plates are run through.
And what kind of information are you able to obtain from that system?
It'll tell you the make and model of the gun, and it'll tell you if it's stolen or not.
And is that, do you or do you not rely or utilize that system in your duties as a law enforcement officer?
Daily. I mean, anytime I come across a gun, I run it.
And is that system utilized by other law enforcement agencies other than Brookhaven Police Department?
Yes, sir. Most agencies have access to, all agencies have access to it, but it's only not every agency, and I can't speak for others, but not every agency can run it themselves with the computer in their car because some smaller agencies don't have that ability.
And why is it important to run, why do you run a firearm through that system?
Because it'll tell you if it's stolen or it'll tell you if it's wanted in connection with any other crimes.
And why is that information important that you have when you're on the street?
Because if it's stolen, we seize it. The police department seizes it and you can be arrested for it.
Officer Fikes, what information came back when you ran that firearm?
Same objection, Your Honor. The fact that it's important that it's relied upon does not make it any less hearsay. It's still hearsay.
I'm over the objection, sir.
Can you say it again? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Also object on the basis of confrontation, Your Honor.
Overruled, sir.
After continued objection.
That will be made. Continued objection.
Officer Fikes, turning to 12 Lima, can you describe which firearm came back? Which firearm did you run on the system and got information back on?
I ran both on NCIC. The one on the larger frame firearm on the right-hand side came back stolen.
And where was that firearm located?
It was in the red and black bag that was on the hump of the back seat.
What other items, or what else was found inside that red and black bag?
The currency and the orange bottle that had the pills in it, and a wallet that had Jeffery Williams' name on credit cards.
Was there any other identifying markers in that bag?
No.
And what type of gun was that?
It was a FN 57.
And what was the serial number of that gun, Officer Fikes?
I'd have to look at my report to get that.
When you were looking at a photograph of a firearm box, help refresh your memory?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to show the witness who was marked as 18 Lima to refresh. Yes.
Showing that to the defense counsel already?
Yes, Your Honor. I will show them now.
Your Honor, I guess I'm going to comfort break.
Didn't I give you a lunch break?
30 seconds.
Oh, the whining. Okay, yes, ma'am. How long would you like to take? About,
30 seconds. You can play. Come on, all done.
how about we just take 5 minutes, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be in recess about 5 minutes. Let everybody take a comfort break. All right, we're in recess. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram. All right, Mr. Atkins, you may continue your examination, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Officer Fikes, can you describe where the individuals were seated in the car?
Sure. Sergio Kitchens was sitting in the front seat. Jeffery Williams was in the front passenger seat, and Cedric Jones was seated in the back seat behind the passenger seat.
And you had discussed a black bag that was found, and I wanted to ask you what was the serial number on the SCCY 9mm firearm?
If I can see my report, I can tell you.
Your Honor, the state's approaching with 39 Lima.
Have you shown that to the defense counsel already?
I will show it to him right now, Your Honor. Officer Fikes, I'm handing you 39 Lima. Please look at that document, and if your memory is refreshed, just look up that name.
Give me just a second. Okay.
What was the serial number on that firearm?
On the SCCY?
I'm going to ask that he not read from the exhibit, that he specify from his fresh recollection.
I'll sustain the objection.
Your Honor, Officer Fikes, when you collected these items, did you ever place them in any type of containers back in your police department?
Yes, sir.
What kind of container did you put them in?
Cardboard box.
And in that cardboard box, did you ever make any writings on the cardboard box yourself?
Yes, sir. They've got a whole form on the front of the box we fill out that's got the case number. In this case, a firearm would be a serial number, what the make and model was.
And at the time you wrote on this box, how were you able to write the serial number? How did you know what the serial number was?
It was on the gun.
And would that writing you made on the box, would that be an accurate recording of the serial number of this firearm?
Correct, yes.
Your Honor, the state would move at this time to introduce 18 Lima as a past prior recorded recollection.
Any objections, sir? Correct. Mr. Adams, any objection to the state's 39 Lima, sir?
No objection to the exhibit, but with the admonition that soon to be continuing with this rule, making.
Okay. 39 Lima is admitted, and a continuing objection will be noted.
Your Honor, the state misspoke. I said 18 Lima, it's 19 Lima, Your Honor, just for the record.
Is that the exhibit you are trying to introduce at this point in time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so it's 19 Lima?
Correct,
As
Your Honor.
opposed to 39. All right, we'll correct our records.
Handing the witness what's been marked as 19 Lima. And Your Honor, the state would like to publish 19 Lima now that it's been admitted.
You may publish it as you see fit, sir.
And Officer Fikes, can you read 19 Lima? What is the serial number on that SCCY 9mm firearm you recovered?
112660.
And just to reorient, what bag was that specific firearm found in?
In the black bag.
And where the red bag, where was that bag located?
In the back seat.
And who could reach that bag if they were sitting in the vehicle? Like could the
Objection, speculation.
I stand as the form.
how distance-wise, how far was the red bag from the front passenger seat?
Probably 12 inches.
Would a human hand be able to reach from the front passenger seat to where that red bag was found?
Absolutely.
And what was in that red bag, Officer Price?
In the red bag was the FN57, the cash, the currency, and then the the orange medicine bottle.
And what was the firearm on that FN57 that was recovered in the red bag?
385-27-4703.
And as we had just described, when you collected that and were back at Brookhaven Police Department, did you put that in any type of container?
Into a box.
And did you make any writings on that box?
Yes, sir.
What did you write on the box?
The same as the other box. So it'll have the case number, the location it was taken, the serial number, the make and model of the gun, and who it was taken from.
And was this the firearm that was reported stolen?
The FN, yes.
And do you recall how much, was there any cash located in that red bag with that firearm?
Yes, sir.
How much cash?
Again, I have to look at the report to give you an exact amount, but I think it was like 49,000, something like that.
Would looking at a copy of the report help refresh you?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, the state would like to have 39 Lima, is handing the witness 39 Lima.
Have you shown that to the defense counsel already?
I previously had, Your Honor.
Okay, all right.
Officer Bites, if and when your memory is refreshed, please look up that name.
Okay.
And Officer Bites, I'm going to grab back 39 Lima. Did that refresh your memory?
Yes, sir.
How much cash was found in that red bag?
$49,926.
And how was there anything around or on that money?
It was rubber banded together, just like it was in the picture we showed earlier.
And you had also inside that red bag, was there any pill bottles found?
Yes.
And what was inside the pill bottles?
Multiple different pills and the multicolored powder.
And in your training experience, if you had any, what did you think that those items were in your training experience?
And the pills, I wasn't sure at the time but based on the inscriptions on them, we had to identify them. But the powder, I believe, it to be ecstasy.
And did you do any field testing with these, or were any field testing done?
We sent them to the GBI crime lab.
What other identifiers were in this red bag?
There was a wallet with credit cards in it that had Jeffery Williams' name on it.
Was there any other indication that that red bag belonged to anyone else other than Jeffery Williams?
No, sir.
It's going to be called speculation.
I sustain the objection.
Did you locate any other items, Officer Fikes, with other people's names on credit cards in that red bag?
No, sir.
And where specifically was that red bag in relation to where Jeffery Williams was seated when you approached the vehicle?
It was on the back seat. There's a hump in between the floorboard on the passenger and driver's side, and it was sitting on top of that hump. It was right in the center of the floorboard.
And in the front passenger compartment, was there anything of evidentiary value recovered at that location?
Yes.
What was it?
There was a Sprite bottle with purple liquid in it.
Now, with your background, training, experience, education, did you form an opinion of what that liquid was?
Yes, sir.
Also speculation.
I sustain the objection.
Do you have, are you familiar with coding?
Yes.
Have you been trained on coding?
Yes.
Have you been trained on how you may encounter coding when working the streets?
Yes.
In your training experience, how is coding typically consumed? Is it smoked? Is it injected?
I'm going to object based on lack of foundation. I'm going to object based on the fact that he's not even qualified as an expert. I'm going to object based on lack of notice of the testimony that he even arguably can consider that.
All three are overruled, sir. I'll note for the record, okay?
Also likes to.
It's either drink straight out of the bottle, or sometimes they mix it with Sprite and call it purple drink.
And have you encountered that or been trained on that in your law enforcement experience?
Yes.
And from what you were trained about codeine and what it may be mixed with, what came to your mind when you saw the Sprite bottle?
Objection, so also speculation.
I stand as a form.
Based on your training experience, did you form an opinion as to what was inside of that Sprite bottle? And from that-
Objection, same objection, and it is also irrelevant. His opinion.
I'll overrule the objection, sir.
You may answer, Officer Pike.
Yes, sir. I assume that it was purple drink.
That's objection. So,
I'm sorry, Judge.
that's objection. The jury is to disregard the witness's last response. If you can rephrase it.
In your opinion, based on your training experience, what was inside of that Sprite bottle?
Purple drink, codeine and Sprite.
And is codeine and Sprite, where does it come from, or what is purple drink? Is that what it's called?
That's what they call it. They call it purple drink.
And in the vehicle, who was it closest to when you approached?
It was in the passenger front floorboard in between Jeffery Williams' feet.
Now, Officer Fikes, did you find anything of evidentiary value in the trunk?
No.
Was there, I'm going to show you what's already been admitted. For publishing State's Exhibit 12, Lima. For publishing 14, Lima. Who is depicted in 14 Lima, Officer Pike?
Cedric Jones.
And did he have any jewelry?
Yes.
What does what was the lettering on his jewelry?
The only thing you see is SLA.
And did that have any significance to you at the time you did the stop?
No, sir.
Have you been trained to investigate criminal street gangs?
No, sir.
Do you have any particular background training or experience that allows you to recognize and investigate criminal street gangs or criminal street gang activity?
No, sir.
At the time you made this arrest, did you have any training that would have allowed you to identify criminal street gang members?
No.
And at this time you made this arrest, did you have any familiarity or training in recognizing or identifying young slime life YSL members?
No, sir.
Publishing State's Exhibit 15, Lima. Who is depicted in 15, Lima?
Sergio Kitchens.
And where was he in the vehicle when you approached it?
He was driving.
Publishing State's Exhibit 16, Lima. Who is depicted in 16, Lima?
Jeffery Williams.
And where was he seated in the car, Officer Pikes?
The front passenger seat.
Did he have any jewelry on him when this day?
Yes, sir. He's got several silver necklaces on.
And what did you all do with that jewelry?
It was given to, I believe, his cameraman that showed up on scene.
And is that typical to release items like that to?
Sometimes if there's somebody close enough by and it's, a high dollar item, we will if they request to.
Your Honor, and Mr. Adams, you may want to, I have State's Exhibit 17 Lima through 57 Lima. I'm going to show them to the defense counsel. So these are all of these items that we talked about. Your Honor, I have permission to approach.
You may, sir.
I am handing the witness State's Exhibits 17 Lima through 57 Lima. Officer Price, can you review and I'm going to go through these one at a time with you.
Okay.
Can you look at the first one is 17 Lima, is that correct?
Yes.
What is that?
That is the 2 gun boxes that I filled out the information on to place the firearms in
And how do you recognize it?
by my handwriting.
And is there anyone else's handwriting on 17 Lima?
No.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of your writing in the box from the items you collected?
Yes, sir.
Turning to 18 Lima, sir. What is 18 Lima? Oh, actually, sorry, 18 Lima is not in there because it is
Yeah, the next one I got is
back before.
20.
Handing you what's been marked as 18 Lima.
Okay.
What is 18 Lima?
This is the box that the FN57 was placed in.
And does it have any writing on 18 Lima?
It's got my handwriting on it.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the box and the handwriting related to this?
Yes, sir.
Turning to State's Exhibit 19 Lima.
Do you have that one as well?
I have that one. That one's actually been admitted, so I'll turn to 20 Lima.
Okay.
What is 20 Lima?
20 Lima is a bag that has 31 FN57 bullets in.
And is there any writing on 20 Lima?
Yes, it's got my handwriting on it as well.
Is there any other Brookhaven Police Department officers' handwriting on 20 Lima?
No.
And is there any tags on 20 Lima?
Yes, it's got an evidence sticker on it with the barcode.
And is that evidence sticker, is that human generated or computer generated?
It's computer generated.
And what do the numbers on that depict or signify?
The case number is on here. The 8686 number is on here. I'm not sure what that is. That's something that the evidence custodians generate.
And does the evidence sticker accurately correlate with the items in that bag that you collected?
Yes.
Turning to State's Exhibit 21 Lima. What is 21 Lima?
It looks like another picture of the bag of bullets.
And does that depict and identify the same handwriting with evidence sticker that we just discussed with 20 Lima?
Yes.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of what we just discussed with 20 Lima?
Yes.
Turning to 22 Lima, what does 22 Lima compare?
This appears to be the back side of the bag showing the FN57 bullets.
How do you recognize it?
By the bullets I removed from the magazine.
And is that or is that not a backside of what was depicted in 21 Lima and 20 Lima?
Yes.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of the ammo in that bag that you put in there?
Yes, sir.
Turning to Exhibit 23 Lima. And is that item on 22 Lima that did not come out of the car?
Yes, it did.
Turning to 23 Lima, what is 23 Lima?
This is a bag with the 9mm bullets.
And how do you recognize it?
Again, by my handwriting.
And is there any other physical handwriting on that bag other than yourself?
No.
Where did it come from?
It came from the SCCY 9mm that was in the vehicle.
And is there any computer generated or evidence barcodes on that?
There is.
And is it a similar to what we discussed previously?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does it pertain to this case?
Yes.
Is it accurately correlated with the items you personally collected?
Yes.
Turning to say 24 Lima, what is 24 Lima?
24 Lima is the same, a picture of the same bag.
And is it a zoomed in photo of 23 Lima?
Appears to be zoomed in, yes.
Is there any other handwriting physically other than yourself on 24 Lima?
No, sir.
And does it have the same evidence barcode that was referenced in 23?
Yes, sir.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the ammo that we just discussed in 23 Lima?
Yes, sir.
Turning to 25 Lima, what does that depict?
That's a picture of the backside of the bag with the 9mm bullets in it.
And is that the backside of the same bag we just discussed in 23 and 24 number?
Yes.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the ammo you collected from this car?
Yes, sir.
Turning to State Exhibit 26 Lima, what is 26 Lima?
26 Lima is a bag. I believe it's got the Sprite bottle in it.
And does it have the handwriting on it?
It does.
Whose handwriting is it?
It's Officer Latif's.
And does it have any evidence code on it?
It does. It's got the same evidence code that's been previously put on all the other bags.
Does it accurately reflect the items recovered from the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
How do you know?
Because I remember pulling the Sprite bottle out of the driver's seat or driver floorboard.
And thank you, Officer Fikes. Turning to to Exhibit 27, Officer Fikes, what does that say?
It's the backside of the bag that's got the Sprite bottle in it.
Is this the backside of the same bag we just discussed?
Yes, sir.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of the Sprite bottle you recovered in this case?
Yes, sir.
And does it have any numbers or what is that sticker on 27?
That's a sticker the evidence custodians put on there.
And does it correlate with this case?
Yes.
Looking at 28 Lima, what is 28 Lima?
Zoomed in picture of the Sprite bottle bag.
And is that the same that we just discussed in 26 and 27 Lima?
Yes, sir.
Turn to 29 Lima, what is 29 Lima?
29 Lima is the 2 bottles of liquid coating.
And is there any handwriting on 29 Lima?
Yes, it's got my handwriting on it.
Is there anyone else's handwriting other than yourself on 29?
No, sir.
And is it does it have any evidence stickers on it?
It does.
And do those evidence stickers correspond to this case?
Yes, sir.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of the coating recovered that you collected?
Yes.
And 30 Lima, what does that depict?
Zoomed in picture of the same bag.
And is it an accurate reflection of the same item we just discussed in 29 Lima?
Yes, sir.
Turning to 31 Lima, what is that?
The picture of the backside of the bag with the 2 bottles of coating.
And is that the coating you recovered in this vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Turning to 32 Lima, what does 32 Lima depict?
These is the bag with the orange and the green medicine bottle in it.
And whose handwriting is on 32 Lima?
My handwriting.
Is there anyone else's handwriting other than your own on 32 Lima?
No, sir.
And is there any barcodes or evidence stickers on this item?
Yes, the evidence labels.
And did you send any of this to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation?
Yes, sir. All of it was sent off for identification.
Turning to 33 Lima, what does that depict?
This is the backside of the bag. You can see the green and the orange bottle in it.
And is that the same bag that we just discussed?
Yes, sir.
In 32 Lima and 31?
Yes, sir.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the medicine bottle orange and green you recovered in this case?
Yes.
Turning to 34 Lima, what does that depict?
This is a zoomed in picture of the front of the bag that's got the medicine bottles in it.
And does it have any handwriting on it?
It does. It's got my handwriting.
Anyone else's handwriting other than your own?
No, sir.
And turning to 35 Lima, what does that depict?
It's got a evidence bag that's got the multicolored powder in it.
And does it have any handwriting on it?
No. Oh, it's got handwriting on it. I'm sorry. Yes, it's got my handwriting.
Is there anyone else's handwriting other than your own?
No, sir.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the multicolored pills you recovered in this case?
Yes.
The evidence bag up there.
Yes, sir.
And turning to 36 Lima, what is 36 Lima?
A zoomed in picture of the same bag.
And is that a fair and accurate of what we just discussed?
Yes, sir.
And 37 Lima,
That is the backside of the bag that's got the multicolored powder.
is that a fair and accurate depiction of the backside of the bag?
Yes, sir.
Turning to 38 Lima, what does that depict?
This is the bag that's got the Xanax pills in it.
And does it have any handwriting on it?
It does. It's got my handwriting on it.
Anyone else's handwriting but your own?
No, sir.
And does it have a barcode on it?
It does. It's got the evidence barcode.
Does that correspond to this case?
Yes.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the evidence bag you collected with the Xanax bill?
Yes, sir.
And turning to 39 lima, what is 39 lima?
A zoomed in picture of the same bag.
And what is 40 lima?
It's the back of the bag showing the full and partial Xanax pills.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the full and partial Xanax bill?
Yes, sir.
Turning to 41 lima, what is 41 lima?
It's got 4 Adderall pills in it, evidence bag.
Does it have any handwriting on it?
It does.
Whose handwriting?
Officer Latif.
How do you know?
Because it's not mine. He's the only other person that helped me fill out evidence bags.
And does it have an evidence code on it?
It does.
And is that evidence code correspond to this case?
Yes, sir.
And does that contain the Adderall that you collected from the car?
Yes, sir.
What is 42 lima?
Appears to be a zoomed in picture of the front of the bag with the Adderall.
And what is 43 lima?
The back of the bag with the Adderall pills in it.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of the back of the bag with the Adderall pills you collected?
Yes, sir.
What is 44 lima?
It's got a bag. It's an evidence bag with 2 unidentified purple pills.
And does it have any handwriting on it?
It does.
Whose handwriting?
Officer Latif.
And is that the purple pills that you collected in this case?
Yes, sir.
Does it have an evidence sticker on it?
It does.
And does that evidence sticker correspond to this case?
Yes, sir.
What is 45L?
Is the back of the bag with the 2 purple pills.
Same bag we just discussed?
Yes, sir.
Turning to 46 lima. What is 46 lima depict?
Zoomed in picture of the front of the evidence bag with the 2 purple pills.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of this evidence bag?
Yes, sir.
Turning to 48 lima.
It's a evidence bag with 24 Lortab pills in it.
And how do you recognize it?
It's Officer Latif's writing, and it's got the evidence labels on it.
And is this the Lortab pills that you collected from this vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of those pills?
Yes, sir.
Turning to State Exhibit 49 lima. Officer Fikes was the.
I got 48 Lima.
All right, perfect. Is that what we just discussed? No, 47 lima.
Yeah.
With 48 lima, what does that depict?
The back of the bag with the Adderall pills.
And is that the same bag we just discussed?
Yes, sir.
What is 49 lima?
It's a zoomed in picture of the front of the bag with the Lortab.
Did you mean Lortab when you said Adderall?
No, there's 2 different bags. One of them's got Adderall in it, and one of them has Lortab. I'll go back and look for a second. So, I think this is 48 Lima, or 42 Lima has 4 Adderall pills in it.
And what about 48 lima?
48 Lima is the back of the bag that's got the Lortab pills in it.
Thank you. Turning to State Exhibit 49 lima.
It's a zoomed in picture of the evidence bag. It's got the Lortab pills.
And for State's Exhibit 50 lima.
It's multicolored pills that are unidentified.
And turning back to 49 lima, is that a fair and accurate depiction of the evidence bag?
Yes, sir.
You know, the evidence you personally collected in this case?
Yes, sir.
And is there a evidence barcode that corresponds with this evidence collected?
There is.
With 50 lima, what is that, Officer Price?
It's evidence bag that's got multicolored pills in it that were unidentified.
And is it having handwriting on it?
It does. It appears to be also Latif's handwriting.
And is that the multicolored pills that you collected from this vehicle?
Yes, sir.
What is 51 lima?
Zoomed in picture of the same bag.
And does it have any evidence stickers on it?
It does. It's got the evidence labels, the barcode.
And turning to 52 Lima, what does that fit?
This is the back of the bag that's got the multicolored pills in it.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of the back of the bag with the multicolored pills you collected?
Yes, sir.
Turning to 53 Lima, what does that depict?
This is an evidence bag. I think it's got a single pill. I'm having a hard time reading his handwriting. I believe it looks like it says a single pill.
Whose handwriting is on 53 Lima?
Officer Latif.
And what is State's Exhibit 54L?
The back of that bag.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of the back of the bag?
Yes, sir. It does appear to have just one single blue pill in it.
Did you collect that one single blue pill?
Yes, sir.
And what is 55 Lima?
Zoomed in picture of that same bag, the front of the bag.
And do you have any, is there any of your handwriting, or whose handwriting is on 55 Lima?
Officer Latif.
And is that the front of the bag with a small blue pill?
It is.
Is it accurate to reflect the bag with a small blue pill?
Yes, sir.
And turning to 56 Lima, what does that depict?
This is a bag with all the rubber bands from the money.
And does it have any handwriting on it?
It does. It's got my handwriting.
And does it have any evidence barcode stickers?
Yes, sir.
And turning to 57 Lima, what money does the rubber band 56L correspond with?
The money that was found in the red and black bag.
And turning to 57 Lima, what does that say?
The back of the bag with the rubber bands.
And is that the rubber band you collected? from
Yes.
that vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, the state would like to approach you based off court counsel for the conversation.
All right.
Your Honor, the state had previously labeled a report to refresh my recollection as 39 Lima, but there was a photograph also listed as 39 Lima, so the state is going to correct the report in the record and make that 39 Lima R for the report.
All right. So noted.
Your Honor, I have Exhibit 58 Lima. I want to show it to the defense counsel.
All right, sir.